This is Two Teachers Chat with your hosts, Brenda McCrate and Peggy Wilbur.
Hi, Peggy.
Hi, Brenda. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good.
We are
Two Teachers Chat.
So, our question today
Is how do I support my learning target?
Okay, so once again, we're on the focus of how do I get the most bang for my buck out of every lesson because time is short. So, most of your kids, when you explain your learning target, are going to understand it. But we all have kids in our classes who are not language oriented. NEPs, ELL kids, all levels.
Children with auditory processing
Exactly.
issues.
So
Don't learn just from auditory and reading the words. That's
right,
what we're saying.
exactly. And I can still remember being a science teacher. I taught every kid in the whole school, in elementary school, and I would put a learning target up on the board, and I'd have kids with blank stares because they didn't speak any English, and they didn't understand not only the vocabulary, they just simply didn't even understand every word in that sentence that I'd written up there. So I turned to making visuals. And we call them learning supports, and there's a variety of ways to do them. But when you tie it to your learning target, it can give a visual for those children who have trouble with language, and for everybody to realize this is what my exit ticket should look like at the end of this lesson. This is what I'm going to be able to do at the end of the lesson. So, for instance, in science, I was teaching them how to draw scientific drawings with labels and very accurate drawings. So, every time I put that up as a process, as a learning target, because it's a process objective, I would draw some kind of diagram, maybe a diagram of a lima bean with all the parts labeled. Now, that didn't mean that that's what they were going to diagram. They might be diagramming a cricket or a race car or whatever we were doing. But I could go over the parts and say, remember, scientific drawings have to have labels. They have to be drawing what you see, not what you imagine. And here's an example of a lima bean diagram. That'll help you at the end. Even a kid who doesn't understand, I can draw an accurate scientific diagram, doesn't understand any of those words, can look at that picture, and when we get to drawing the cricket, can realize that they have to do something similar. And then you can always say, label it in Spanish if you're a Spanish speaker or whatever.
Is this one of those where a picture's worth 1,000 words? I can see you trying to explain the word diagram to children that don't have that in their vocabulary.
Exactly.
It's better to have a visual there.
Exactly. And then things like long division. When you first started, and it's an entire mystery to them. But if every day you put up a long division problem along with your learning target, and then you focus in on one piece of the long division, eventually they're going to get, okay, that's what I'm going to be able to do in maybe 3 lessons. We're doing it step by step, and I'm only responsible for 2 steps or whatever, but they're going to see it holistically all the time. And again, if you're thinking about what visual to put with your learning target, you've got an instant exit ticket and an assessment. So it makes lesson planning really easy because you're basically almost planning your lesson out just by investing in your learning target.
And creating the
and
visual.
creating a really clear learning target and a visual to go with it.
So give me an example. Let's say I'm teaching reading.
Okay.
And my learning target is I can read words that have letter B.
Okay.
Is that, number one, I can see your face going, is that how you would write that learning target?
That have a B in them? Is that what you're saying?
So words that have letter B, and I can correctly read a word that has B
Okay,
the
because
phonic
of
is
the
a B.
because of the reversal issue.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because the
All
BD issues.
Okay.
And so. Yes.
Okay. So certainly that's a learning target for some kids. Okay. And so.
Do you want to do a different one like short A or?
No,
short
that's
E or,
fine.
Okay.
We can go with this. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. I just had to understand why that would be important because it seems easy, but I forget.
Yeah. So what I did, I went back to really first and second graders having troubles.
Yeah.
With B's and D's, and so it seems like to really point it out and then practice it on purpose.
And do you isolate words with B, just B for a while, and then words just with D?
Yes.
And then
So I would teach B's first until it's deeply learned, and then wait for letter D for later.
Okay.
You know.
So you put that up as a learning target.
Okay.
And then you put maybe 2 words with maybe a B at the beginning and then a B somewhere in the middle or at the end. And as you're explaining the learning target, you're saying, so if I were doing this, then I would look at this word, B-A-T, and I would think, okay, let me think. Oh, the stick is first, so that's a B, but at bat. And then here's Abe. And let me look again. Okay, the stick is first. So as we're going, we're always looking for that stick being first or whatever age you give them.
Exactly.
And you read the 2 words and maybe even have them read it with you. And you say to them, now you're going to have to read words like this, and then you move on. But see how you've already practiced, you've already modeled. You're building your whole lesson on just that learning target, just that one little focus on the board.
Right. And then in the middle of the lesson, we'll come back.
Absolutely.
And reread
maybe,
the learning target, and then at the end of the lesson. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're giving examples. Would you also have a picture of a B? Would you have, even more visual or not?
I would have, if you've got a card or something that has the bat and ball thing that we all use. Yes, I'd absolutely put that right up there.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Good. So even for something simple like that, you can use visuals.
Yeah.
And it's really important.
Wonderful. Well, I'm out of coffee.
All right, time to call it a day and go, well, not to bed yet.
Even
though it starts with a B.
Right, B bed. Enjoy creating those
visuals to go with your learning target.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you for watching 2 Teachers Chat. Until next time, and remember, teachers touch lives forever.